Hello there, it's Chunky Monkey 3001 here, and welcome along to episode number 13 of the Let's Build series. I'm down here in a new area in the bowels of the ship. Unfortunately, I've not had much time to get on the server and do any building lately, so Marco, hello, has very kindly charged ahead and started building some very cool stuff. And he's here to show you what he's been up to. So, without further ado,
well then, I am going to show you the maintenance tunnels underneath the arrival area. So, without further ado, let us descend. Okay, let us build a maintenance tunnel, shall we? It is going to go right here. We begin by laying down the metal framework. I'm using World Edit because laying this down block by block would be very tedious, I guess. And this is a little quicker that way. Add the filler, because I guess this looks more industrial. Give it a little variation. We also add iron covers at the ceiling. And we repeat the process on the other side. So let us lay down the final row of fillers. Ta-da! And we have to fill the floor in, because there are a couple parts missing. And now the hull of the tunnel is ready. Next we are going to add the walkway in the middle. I'm using black wall covers as the actual walkway, iron tunnel strips to have a little frame around the walkway. And as you can already see in the background, I am using ruby cover strips for the guardrails. Add some here, there, and now we have to repeat this all the way to the other side. So let us speed this up again. Copy the bottom row of the frame. There we go. Get the guardrails over. This. Now for the actual walkway. There we go. And the same thing on the other side. I'm messing up a lot with those tools. Okay, now that the actual walkway is down, we will have to cap off the tunnel here. There is a cover in the way, you idiot. And I realize I built this too far, so let us remove a little bit of the walkway, fill in the floor, and finally cap off the guardrails. And the ruby cover strips here, there, and on the other side. So this looks kinda like a maintenance tunnel now. But, looking at it, it is very dark. So let us add some lights. I am using non-invert cells because I think they look cool. They have this grid around them that reminds me of the those industrial lamps you have in the factories, spacing them out with 6 blocks in betweens, and I'm adding some details to the guardrails as well. And then the final thing we have to do to make this an actual maintenance tunnel is getting the pipes over to the other side. So once again we speed up the process, because otherwise I guess this would be very boring to watch. The blue electric cable from our thermocells, and 2 of the 4 EU glass fiber cables from a nuclear plant. Like this. Replace this. That's it. If we now compare this to the other side, where I already built one of those tunnels, we can see that these are mirror images of each other. The last thing I did was feed the cables through, so they're accessible from the other side. They're running through here, coming out there. And as I go to the other side of the tunnel, out through this access shaft, you can see that I already connected both tunnels to the power line of the reactor. Now, to prevent unauthorized personnel from entering the engineering bay, we need to add a proper security system to the maintenance tunnels. So, what I'm going to do is add a door around here. I will start by building a little encasing for the door. Again, I'm using fillers to give it a little variation. I'm also going to add red lamps here and here, because I'm planning on having a blinking lights effect to indicate that there is a hazardous area on the other side of the tunnels. The cover strips are mainly there to prevent the light from the lamp from bleeding through the covers, which they tend to do, and I don't like the effect. So I'm covering it up in panel strips. On the other side of the wall here, symmetrifying it on the panel strips, and doing it the exact same thing on the other side. Like this. Now to add the door movement system, which will consist of frame motors and the door itself, which then obviously will consist of frames. It's going to be a very simple 3x3 frame door. I'll have to dig through the bottom of the ship here to attach covers to the bottom of the door, because otherwise it would just stick to the floor and not move at all. Now, very conveniently, since we're working on the maintenance tunnels, we can just bash away this cover here and hook up the motors to the blue electric energy line. Like this. The other thing you need to drive the red power motors is a redstone signal. So let me get a cable here. And I'm also going to use a pulse former, because you only need a short pulse to drive the motors. This one. There are 2 states, obviously, open and closed. So I'm using a toggle latch to toggle between those two states. And the second pulse filament to drive the second motor. Now the other two motors are just decoy to make it symmetric. I'm still going to cover them up to prevent redstone signals from getting into those motors, because I have OCD and I don't like when things are connecting to each other. Cover it up here, and behind this pillar I'm going to attach the button to drive the door system. We'll pick up the signal with a piece of uninsulated redstone wire. Cover this up from the other side, and before I cover this side up, I add a redstone cable. Get it up to the ceiling, attach it to the ceiling, and connect it to the system. Now all we have to do is cover it up. Not there, obviously, so it would be very silly. And this is all we need. Now I can just add the button to the other side of the wall. If I can find it. There we go. But it won't move, because we need to cover the frame door in iron covers, or any other covers. Otherwise it will just stick to the walls around it, and as you might have seen, it doesn't move. And this is the door itself done. Now, if I click the button, you can see the door is moving. The door is basically working. Hey kitty. The next thing we need to take care of is the light system. As I said, I want to have some blinking lights in this doorway. So first of all, get a redstone signal to the lamps. And to achieve the blinking effect, I'm just simply using a toggle latch and a timer, which I will set to 1 second. Feed the other signal through to the other side. And attach it to the lamp as well. Now I am going to use a null cell here, because we not only want to feed the blinking signal through, but we also want to get the trigger signal for the door, because you need to operate the door from both sides. And since this is going to become a security locking system, not everyone is supposed to operate this door. That's why we are going to attach a little computer system on this side of the door system. A computer, a red and a green lamp, and encapsulate this in a little metal casing. Also, very importantly, I'm adding a disk drive here. You will see what for in a second. Let me cover this up. And this is how it looks like. Okay, let me show you how this is working then. Now, I have 2 disks in my inventory. One is a very ordinary disk, and one is a special disk. Now, if I insert the ordinary disk, computer says no, and nothing happens. If, however, I insert the authentication disk. Computer says yes, and opens the door for me. And if I insert it again, it closes the door. Like this. Okay, now if you want to access the engineering bay, insert your security ID card, open the door, get into the tunnel, and close it from the other side. Now, let us cover the ceiling in fast forward mode. Because we had no fast forward mode for a long time, hadn't we? I have to mostly use iron covers because there is a lot of stuff under the ceiling that we have to cover up. And then do the rest with iron blocks. Cover it up from the outside as well, because there are other things that are going to happen in this space there. Good little doorway. And now it looks like it does on the other side. And finally, I'm going to add a little detail here. I've also added this doorway effect to all the other doorways in the tunnel. I'll show you in a second. And this is how it looks on this side. And like I said, I added this on the other side as well. And also on the back end of the tunnel, as you can see back there.
And so we now have finished maintenance access tunnels. Let's take a little look. Hello.
Oh,
Ah, here we are. A sterling job that you've done here, Mark. Very impressive.
thank you.
Green light, good to go. Let's proceed. Nice. Real nice feel to these. They feel like maintenance, sort of slightly eerie, sort of hazardous feel to them. Probably the hazardous check lines all the way down the length of the corridor, but never know. The gloom adds to the effect as well. And that right there, ladies and gents, is access to engineering. No longer do we just sort of slide through a big hole in a wall, garishly placed. Actual proper access, crew only and all that sort of stuff. Allow me to go first. What a gentleman you are.
Oh, of course.
And here we are, in engineering. Hello. Talking of garish holes, I thought I'd patch that up, but never mind.
No, you don't see anything.
Nothing to see here, nothing to see here. Yeah, so, here we are. Elevator shaft. Ominous looking hole. And power conduits. Oh, looking rather nice. But yes, we have something that feels very cool, very technical, very off limits to general public. That's to be said. You've done a very good job back here, sir. I'm most impressed.
Once again, thank you.
No. I insist. Thank you. And I thank all of you for joining us, or rather joining Mark, on his first foray into video logging, creation, building stuff. So things are starting to shape up rather nicely down in the back here. Mark, you appear to have fallen into a flower there. You okay?
Oh, I'm fine.
Okay, enjoying yourself down there. Well, thanks very much for joining us, and we will see you in the next episode. Mark, thank you very much. Sterling job on your piece of handiwork down there, sir.
Once again, thank you.
No, thank you. And ladies and gents, we will see you in the next episode. I have been, and will continue to be, Chunky Monkey 3001. And until next time, we wish you farewell. Bye-bye.
Bye.